To begin her cool down after her handstand practice, Carrie's going to take her right forearm across, left palm on top, and then opposite knee to arm. Yep. And then you can let's start by the elbow crease, and then we'll massage back and forth or in circles in one direction, and then slowly move the knee toward the wrist. And if there's any spot where you'd like to linger a little bit more, linger there. Get any knots out that you feel may need a little extra TLC. And then once you get to the wrist, you'll slowly make your way back. Okay, if this position feels too tight, you can always just back your knees up and take the opposite knee back in. All right, me, I'm little. I like to be tight. And now she'll do the opposite. Go ahead, place the hand in the hand just for symmetry in the way you're holding your body as you go from one side to the other. Yeah, if you want, you can also, as Carrie's doing, just slide the knee down the arm. Feel it out, okay? Everything that I'm offering you is meant to help, of course, but also I would like it to be an inspiration for you to take things in your own direction, and then shoot me an email, tell me about it so I can continue to share the good word. How you doing?
Great.
Good. All right, now we're gonna move on to the chest. So go ahead, lay down on your stomach. We'll do this position here where you can take your left arm and extend it straight out. And she's looking in the opposite direction of her hand. She'll take her right hand into almost a chaturanga position and then roll onto the left hip. With the arm extended straight, there is potentially some torque that the elbow could take, but it can be a better stretch for the bicep. Ease up the stretch a little and bend the elbow 90 degrees. Good, so we're keeping the elbow in line with the shoulder and then come back into it. With the bend in the elbow, it prevents the elbow from taking some of that torque and isolates the stretch more to the front of the shoulder. We'll hold here for a little while longer, breathing through it. And if there's any place where you feel a lot of intensity, ease up a little bit and make sure that you can continue to breathe deeply. Okay? Okay. Switch sides. So you can take whichever one you want. If you want to start with the arm straight, go into it. If you know that that wasn't too interesting for you, you can keep the knee bent. Yes. So the opposite leg moves over your body. So we have the right arm extended, the gaze toward the left, and then we roll onto the right hip. The left leg comes behind us. Good. Another thing I like to think of when going into deeper stretches is putting my mind on the area where there's a gripping. And if you're unsure, close your eyes. We call that pratyahara in yoga, or sense withdrawal. And you can try, with that sense taken off, to better feel what's happening in your body. And with your mind, imagine the inhales creating space around whichever is gripping, and the exhales create softness. Inhaling for space, exhaling for softness. Good, and then you'll come out and make your way onto your back. Okay, we're going to do what I call butt down bridge. This is one of my favorites. All right, we press the heels down, lift the butt up, interlace the fingers behind you, and wiggle your shoulder blades together. Okay, there's a nice pop in the chest without too much of an overstretch, so again, it feels good. The front of your chest, and then you sit your butt down on your forearms. So the chest is still lifting and the hips relax. If your muscles at the front of your hips don't like to relax while your chest is lifting, just keep asking them to. It feels so good, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll hold here for a moment. And then lift your hips up, switch the lacing of your fingers, and sit back down again. Good. And you notice she did a little readjustment of the shoulders. That's a good call after you switch the lacing of the fingers. Okay, so In the handstanding practice, there's so much rounding of the upper back. In the yoga practice in general with the planks and chaturangas, it's really nice to have this opportunity to open up. And then press the feet down, lift the hips up. We're going to slide a block underneath your sacrum. It's the lowest part of the low back, flat bone. Yeah, and then lift your, yes. So you notice how she lifted up and she tucked her tailbone a little to lengthen the low back. And now extend the legs forward. Just let them relax. So we're moving into a passive hip flexor stretch with the kicks toward handstand and the work to hold handstand. Those hip flexors can get tight. So here, we relax them. And then to take it further still, bend the knees, lift the butt up. We slide the block out. And then I call this one hip flexor 4. Sit back down. Let's take the right ankle across the left thigh. Step the left thigh off the mat toward the left and a little toward your head and drop the knees to the right. Okay, so we're stretching the front of the left hip here. If your left heel is too close to your butt, more like a virasana, you won't get as much of a stretch. We want to open up this angle here by moving the leg more sideways. If it's a lot on your knee, heed that feedback that you're giving you. You may want to have the foot on a block. All right. You can also squeeze the left glute to take the stretch a little further. And then switch sides. So now the left leg came across, the right foot is wide. Maybe you grab hold. Maybe you squeeze the right butt cheek over to the left. Yes, we relax. We breathe. We inhale for space. Exhale for relaxation in the area of tightness. And then come back to middle, hug the knees into the chest. Shavasana. Extend the legs, palms up, feet flopped open. Yes. One more time. Inhale through your nose deep. Exhale out your mouth. Take a moment to absorb the effects of your practice. So as valuable as it is to analyze what we're doing, to move with intention and clarity, it's also just as important to take a moment to passively allow the experience to settle into your physical body. Let it settle in. Nothing to do, nothing to consider. Allow the breath to just happen to you. Allow the knowledge, the wisdom, the awareness to melt into every cell of your body as you do the most powerful and effortless thing that you do. Breathe.